Chat, we got to talk about... We don't have to, but I wanted to talk about... And I want to preface this, okay? I had a conversation. It was very interesting last night with the people that I went to dinner with. And these people were ranging from my age, so rather young, and then also people up into their 40s and in the next generation, right? And even people younger. I want to keep the discussion on exactly what I'm talking about. I know that there is a lot of talk nowadays about whether or not pornography is akin to an addictive substance, right? I think there's a lot of logic behind that. I think that a lot of people can be addicted to pornography. That's not what we're here to talk about today, all right? That's not what we're talking about. But I think that the thing that we are going to talk about is relatively interesting and is very open to interpretation. And I don't have a clear-cut answer on this, but I'm very interested in everybody's opinions in chat, notably those of you that are in relationships. Okay, so if you're in a relationship, perk up, lean in. I'm talking to you. And to do this, we need to go back to previous generations, like our parents' generations, right? People that are probably in their young 60s right now, or their 50s, or even their late 40s. Because when they were growing up, it was really normal to purchase pornography, right? You had magazines, Playboy magazines. Even if you wanted videos, you went to the video store, to the Blockbuster, and you would purchase pornography in front of your peers. Like in public, you would be purchasing Hospital Gangbang 3. Like in public, everybody could see your you rented or bought it, but you rented, right? And then I feel like in our generation, growing up, pornography was so available for free that it was almost like frowned upon or clowned upon even. I think clowned upon is like a more accurate term, to pay for pornography, right? If you were subscribing to Brazzers in your early adulthood, you were kind of like laughed out of the damn room. People were just like, why the would you pay? That shit is free. And there's a lot of people in relationships that are okay with their partners looking at pornography. And that's what I'm talking about back in the day, right? My dad had Playboy magazines. I assume that a lot of your parents were okay with purchasing pornography or having Playboy magazines. Some were not, and that's okay. I'm not talking about whether or not that is a discussion. If you are not okay with pornography in your relationship, that is perfectly fine. But a lot of people are okay with pornography in relationships. That's perfectly valid as well. So then we get into the topic today of if it was okay to purchase pornography back then, is it okay to purchase pornography now? Because now with the rise of things like OnlyFans, we now get into a weird topic where the answer that I've gotten from everybody is, it depends. Obviously, wait. I know that you guys are all going to be like, OnlyFans is way too personal. We've learned in recent years that the general pornography industry is very exploitative of its talent. There are a lot of people on popular websites like Pornhub and things like that. They do not pay the talent enough. They mistreat a lot of talent. There's a lot of shady things that go on in the industry. So my question at dinner was, is it not more ethical then to encourage OnlyFans type creators because it's more of a it's more of a small business aspect, where instead of watching the free pornography that may be less ethical, you are then participating in somebody's small business that is potentially more ethical. And I know that there's probably the line of, obviously, the more parasocial OnlyFans influencers, right? There's a lot of OnlyFans influencers that are social media presences overall. And I think that that is probably, for most people, an obvious line. But there's also not. There's also a lot of OnlyFans influencers out there that are just making amateur, but it's behind a paywall. So to my folks out there, if you are in a relationship, is that okay? Or is this a change in the times? Because it might just be a change in the times. And it's a weird thing to think about of like, yeah, I'm okay with them watching. But then all of a sudden, if they pay for it, it's now not okay. But why is it not okay? Why is that transaction now
I'm
again,
just trying to
discussion more than I think it's a straight up black and white thing.
I know that if I had an OnlyFans and they'd call my business small, I'd be sad. Me and my fiance would be okay with the other using of type services. We trust each other not to go overboard with money or emotions.
Yeah, no, I think it's the emotional aspect, right? I think that's what it is like a lot of the times with like paying for a specific creator, it's almost feels like it's not just saying I'm choosing that specific creator as like, that person's hot and sexy and I like seeing them naked and having sex, to that is somebody that I see as like a potential relationship partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is somebody that I'm choosing out of everybody.
I don't like paying for personally. Also, how many subs to take your shirt off?
I don't know. It was just a thought I have, and I don't have a clear answer for it. And I don't think that there is a clear answer for it. I just thought it was something really interesting that we went down this thought process over dinner last night. But no, I said this earlier, so just to include it in the discussion as well. One of the people that we were at dinner with last night was like, yeah, somebody that I was friends with that got into OnlyFans rather early on, one of their coworkers bought a $200 butthole picture, and it's like, that is weird. Like, if your coworker specifically buys a personalized picture from you, it's like, I don't feel comfortable here. $200? Hey, dude, it's a personalized photo. It's just for you, you know? Nobody else gets it. But anyways, yeah, I don't think that there's a specific answer other than just talk to your partner, but I thought it was a really interesting thought process of, we used to be super okay with our partners buying pornography, but also, was it more of like a stereotypical patriarchal gender roles back in those days where it was like, honey, I'm buying, you can't say anything about it because that's what a man does. A man buys because he's not attracted to his wife anymore, you know? I think that also plays into it a lot as well, you know? Is that why women read more smut type shit? Wait, women never stop paying for porn. What the hell? Wait a minute! Adding in a new curveball. If you tried calling us pay pigs, I think that there is an untapped market that you haven't explored. Next person that gives me 5 subs is my favorite pay pig of the day and has been really naughty and is gonna need to be punished. How do you feel about the smut versus discussion? I think there's nothing wrong with smut. Ain't nothing wrong with smut. What about dark romance? Is that where they do like fucked up shit? I don't know, man. What about my partner making that kind of content? Are you asking like, would I be okay with August making OnlyFans content? Yeah, she can do whatever the fuck she wants. The only thing I get on her about is showing ass on the bunny stream. Sometimes she be wearing ass. Sometimes she be wearing ass and then she goes to like clean the bunny cages and I'm like, you can't do that on Twitch. You gotta be careful. If you want to show ass, you just gotta go on a different site. Yeah, I mean, dude, if she wants to, I don't fucking care. Would I prefer that she doesn't? Yeah, but not for the reason that you think, actually. I don't want multiple content creators in my relationship. Makes it more difficult to separate business when you both want to talk about business all the time. Then I also like, I get very subconsciously competitive. If my friends are doing really, really well and I'm having like a rough month, I'm very happy for them in like the realistic part of my brain, but then the negative part of my brain, the subconscious part is like, you're fucking nothing. How dare you have a bad month on the month that they have a good month? It's because you fucking suck, you little piece of shit.
He's an arsonist on a noble quest to escape the wrath of the IRS. He's got conflicting positions in the endless fight for queer folks